All right, we're going to start the broadcast.
That's our cue.
All right, welcome everyone to today's webinar hosted by RISMedia and Real Estate Magazine. What can brokers and team leaders do right now, proactively, to ensure teams and agents succeed? I'm Todd Sumney, and I'm very grateful to be your host today. And I want to start with a quick thank you to RISMedia, Real Estate Magazine, John Featherston, and the whole team for from all of us panelists allowing us to be here with all of you today. And also want to send a special thank you to our sponsor, Breakthrough Broker, and Eric Sachs, one of our panelists here today as well. So we want to start today by introducing our panel to all of you. We have Jamila Winsey, the CEO Principal Broker of ERA Living Legacy in Houston. We have Moore Zucker, the Team Lead and Investment Specialist with Liv Sotheby's in Denver, Colorado. And Eric Sachs, the President, Co-Founder of Breakthrough Broker, based out of Colorado as well. So if each of the three of you could please tell us a little bit about yourselves and your roles in helping agents and teams succeed. I think we'll start with you, Jamila. You want to go first?
Yes, thank you so much. It is good afternoon, everyone. And my name is Jamila Winsey, and honestly, I'm honored to be a part of this really incredible panel today. And I currently have over 20 years experience in real estate, and I currently serve as the co-founder and head of brokerage operations for ERA Legacy Living here in Houston. We are proud to be the #1 Black-owned brokerage in Houston and Texas, and #2 in the country by production. So we're really proud about that. And we serve communities all across Greater Houston. Beyond brokerage leadership, I'm really deeply passionate about coaching and speaking, empowering brokers and agents to elevate their business and build lasting success. So I'm excited to share these actionable insights today that can help you lead with confidence and thrive in this crazy, ever-evolving market.
Oh, love that. Thank you, Jamila. Moore, well, tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, thank you for having me here. My name is Moore Zucker. I'm the team lead of Team Denver Homes. We are part of a larger brokerage, which is Liv Sotheby's International Realty. I currently have 5 licensed agents on the team. We're a small but mighty team. Last year, we closed 50 million in production. So that's about 10 million on average per agent. And we do things a little differently with one-on-one coaching and personal development. And I'll get into that later on in this webinar. Thank you for having me.
I love that. Thank you for being here, Moore. And Eric, tell us all about you and about Breakthrough Broker.
Well, thanks for having me. I think this is great, and thanks to RIS for sponsoring this. I think, first of all, I think brokers are sometimes on an island. There's so many resources for agents out there. Everywhere you turn, there's a resource, but there isn't a ton of information for brokers. So I'm happy that they're sponsoring this. I'm excited about it. To have this crew on is great. I come from brokerage, so I had a brokerage in Colorado, Fort Collins to be exact. And we opened a brokerage in 07, not a great year to open a real estate brokerage. And but we grew from just my best friend and myself to about 90 agents in just 3 years. And so we were acquired in 2010, and we didn't want to work for the big, huge company that bought us. And so we signed a non-compete, had to figure out what was next. And so we built Breakthrough Broker as a resource that we wished we had when we were both an agent and a brokerage. So I come from brokerage, and we built a technology that hopefully helps teams and brokerages enhance their brand.
Love that. Thank you, Eric. And if those of you that are participating today, if you take out your phone and scan that QR code real quick, it'll connect you right directly to some information on Breakthrough Broker. And again, thank you for sponsoring today's webinar. But let's dig right into today's topic. What can brokers and team leaders do right now to help teams and help agents succeed? I want to set the stage a little bit. When transactions have been down for 2 years now, but one thing that was clear to all of us panelists in preparing this webinar for all of you is that top agents and teams always find ways to succeed in any market. And there are certain things that they do that help them strive to that success. And we as leaders of brokerages or leaders of teams have some things that all of us, all of you listening today, can do to help your agents actually thrive in any market. So what we are excited to do is to kind of jump in and talk about what we've been doing, what we are going to be doing next year in 2025 to help all of our agents and teams thrive in 2025. In preparing again for the webinar here, we really kind of started out with talking about three major areas that we're helping agents and teams thrive in today's market. And it's really started with three things. So write these three things down. Leading, which is all about educating, guiding, informing, communicating, especially in this last year with all the changes that have happened in the industry. Leading has been a big part about being a leader and helping agents thrive and leading them to what they need to know and what they need to do and what they how to grow success. Number two, it was all about inspiring and motivating and encouraging agents and helping all of them just get to the next level of their business or achieve whatever goals that they wanted to achieve. Additionally, then thirdly, it was all about adapting through technology, through business processes, through tools, resources, marketing, all kinds of things like that to just help agents succeed. So I guess we'll dig in and start with that. So what are each of you doing to lead, inspire, and adapt agents and teams and help them thrive? I think Jamila, I think we'll start with you.
You know what? The market today, as everyone is experiencing, it's just unprecedented. I don't like to use the word crazy anymore because it's just what it is, right? Our agents are experiencing new normals. I think for those of us that have been in the business as long as we have, let's just say over 15 years, using that as an example, we've seen the ebbs and flows. But about 50% of agents came into this market right before the pandemic. And so really people haven't really experienced what we're now calling a balanced market. And so couple that with everything else with the industry, lawsuits, this, that, and the other changes. I think our agents are just experiencing some burnouts, too much information, and it's very distracting. So one of the things that we're doing is really trying to corral that, right? How do we continue, get you to stay focused? Because guess what? People are still going to need homes. People are still going to need real estate agents to help them through the most important transactions of their lives. So in our office, we've started doing training a little differently. Every Monday, we have what's called Coffee with the Broker, and it's really just Coffee with the Broker, which is really just a weekly coaching session where I sit with our agents every Monday morning, and we just have a little bit of training. It's a bite-sized training, but most importantly, we're sharing our goals for the week. We're sharing our challenges. There's a Q&A session in there, and it creates intimacy, lets our agents know that they're not alone in this, and we're all together to support them. For our newer agents or aspiring agents, we continue to do what's called a guided mentorship program. It serves over 12 weeks. And every week for those 12 weeks, we spend, we have lead associates to spend about 3 hours with them going through the nuts and bolts of real estate, from listings to buyers to contracts, and to also conversations, objection handling, presentations, anything that you can think about. And then we also show them how to use the tools that they have at their disposal and how to quantify that. How do you make money with your CRM? This is how you do it, step to step. There's a framework for everything. And then, of course, another thing that we do is, and I like to do is kind of like a morning mindset email or text message. It's a quote. I'm huge. I love Motiversity is what I call it. It's on YouTube. And this link fires me up every morning before I work out. So that's what I send out as well. So some of the things that we're doing from an inspiration standpoint, and honestly, it's made all the difference. Not to mention the normal getting together, let's have a drink, let's talk, what's going on. So that's been working very well for us.
Love that. What was that website? The Motiversary?
It's on YouTube. It's called my Nigerian accent's kicking in now. Motiversity.
Motiversity. I got to write that down.
It's
So I love
Motivation University.
Motivation University. Okay, love that. All right, Moore, tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Yeah, so I want to talk about the fact that during slower markets, team leads, brokers, and agents tend to, close their purse a little. It's obviously income is not as high, so everyone's kind of cutting a corner, trying not to send that extra, mailer and I would like to say do the opposite. Spend more money on a market that's slow than you did on a hot market. You set the stage up for when the market picks back up, you're in the forefront. So we go ahead and we spend more money during this time. We increase our budget for our print. We increase the budget for our digital marketing. And we just push on all cylinders during a slow market. I really think that makes a difference when the market turns. In terms of leading the agents, within my team, we're very close. It's a smaller team, so we have culture. And I think the culture piece is really the piece that brings the agents to work with that motivation, that Jamila spoke about. We have a group chat and we communicate daily amongst ourselves. We also treat each other like family, and that goes to team leaders and broker owners. Yes, go ahead, attend your agents' retirement party, birthday party, whatever they invite you to. Set the stage to that personal relationship, because those personal relationships are gonna get you over on that time and have the agents more motivated to be on the team, therefore they produce more. The number one way I feel as though agents convert business in this market is accountability. We have a weekly team meeting, and in that team meeting everyone has to pull up, we do a hot and a warm list like a ninja, and everyone has to pull up who they're currently selling and buying with at this current time, who is a possibility, and we follow up with that list weekly. So when they say, oh, I spoke to Eric, and Eric is going to get pre-qualified next month, next week we go, okay, did you talk to Eric last week? Did Eric get pre-qualified yet? Oh, you haven't spoken to him? How about you pick up the phone right now and give him a call? And if they don't have anyone on their list, no worries. Pick up your CRM, open your database. Let's talk about the first 10 people on the list. Have you spoken to James in the last month? And we try to generate business by literally delving deep into their business and kind of picking up all the pieces and pushing them forward.
I love that. And I love the accountability portion of it. And I think that's one of the great things that you get from a team. I had a team leader that I used to work with that he always said, you golf better when you golf with good golfers. And so surrounding yourself with those other good team members and holding each other accountable make you all better. So love hearing about that. We'll have to unpack that more a little bit later.
We gamified that. We called our accountability group the boiler room, and it was $100 to join. And every time you didn't do what you say you were gonna do, we subtracted $10. If you did everything, we gave the $100 back. We threw a huge party because people were losing money left and right. But I think lack of accountability is an epidemic of failure in our industry. They set us up as independent contractors to fail because we have no one to tell us you're fired for not doing that.
I agree.
I love that accountability piece. I think it's awesome.
That is awesome. Well, Eric, tell us a little bit about what you're doing to help team leaders and our teams and agents thrive.
One of my soapboxes is I feel like we're not the best executors. We have a long should list, right? Most of the agents have, I should stay in touch with my sphere better so they remember me more. I should market my open houses a little better so I can drive more people to the open house. I should follow up. And I think we have these shoulds because we get distracted. Somebody said, who said focus? I think Jamila said we need to help our agents focus. So execution of marketing is, I believe the top 1% is executing and everyone else is not. So what we want, our little piece of that world is execution. We want to have marketing that is so easy to execute, like 3 clicks and 3 days to the mailbox, or 1 click and that post is in my Instagram stories. So I think spoon feeding agents right now with the the execution, because everyone out there, there's amazing coaches out there, right? And they all tell us what we need to do, right? What we should do. Here's what other people are doing, but we're left with like, how do we do that? So I think what I want to drill into anyone watching live or recorded, I think it's important to help your agents with the actions, right? Not don't have a Tuesday meeting and say this is what you should be doing or this is what you could be doing. Give them the click here and send this, click here and do this type thing. And I think it would set yourself apart from other brokerages or teams in your marketplace, because I get to see, we have a lot of people on our platform. We have about 640,000 agents on Breakthrough Brokers. So I get to see what's going on out there. And I think you would definitely set yourself apart if you're giving your agents the action piece, not the should piece.
Right. Well said. Well, to add on to everything all three of you are saying, is the Chief Industry Officer for HomeSmart. One of the things I love about my job is my goal every day is to wake up and help agents help more buyers and sellers, help teams help more buyers and sellers. And so breaking it down into those buckets we talked about earlier about, leading through education. For us, one of the things right at the street level that we did was we wanted to make sure every agent had an action plan, a marketing plan of some sort written down heading into next year. So we put a push on, we've doubled our education, sessions, because agents are hungry for info. Education is about ideas, it's about knowledge. And so then we wanted them to hear all those ideas, those tactics, and hear how they were working for other agents, but then put them together onto a one-page marketing plan and actually say, okay, and then what am I going to do daily? What am I going to do weekly? To execute these. And then the inspiration kind of happens when they start to get results. So just to unpack that a little, one quick question or example. Last night I was in an event we had here, and there was one of the agents who came to an education class all about open houses and sphere of influence marketing and how to really work those open houses. And one of the concepts we talked about was doing a push, and not just going to the gym on Saturday and Sunday. It was going to the gym twice a day, 7 days a week, and putting a push on, and you get results faster. So what can we do marketing wise to put a push on? And one of the concepts was 30 open houses in 30 days. And the agent came up to me last night at the event and she's like, we did it. We just finished our 30 open houses in 30 days. And by the 28th, 29th day, it was hard. We were dreading it a little bit, but the impact was amazing. She said the results were 9 closings in the last month, in the last 30 days. And this is all within the last 90 days. So they put in the work 90 days ago, but now 9 closings through doing these open houses. So, it's things like that I think that we can all do to help just inform and educate, then inspire them to do it, and then give them the tools and the resources to do it. So love hearing that. What else are you doing? I know, Jamila, too, you were talking about at one point about, mental health and helping and inspiring with encouragement. Do you want to unpack that a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the things that we're sort of experiencing is agent burnout. It's something that we're not really talking about because everything else, we're just pushing, like you said, we're pushing. Our job requires us to continuously move our feet. This is just what we do. And that could lead to burnout. So mental health is a huge thing. And so outside of just the normal work and play and outside of the normal work and the push, it's sometimes just, really doing that mental check every month, a text message. Hey, are you okay? Hey, where are you? Let's grab a drink. Let's talk about what's going on with your family. Or, hey, you know what? We have a happy hour. Bring the entire family, bring the kids. One of my favorite stories is one of our agents has been with us since day one. Her son, he we call him the youngest legacy living member because we met him when he was 3 years old, and he's 8 years old now. And he came in with his mom during her interview as an agent. And I just remember a couple of weeks ago, we just had we do what's called, let your hair down, happy hour days, which we throw him about once a quarter. But anyway, there are giveaways. There's just, hey, let's dance. It's really nothing formal. We might be at a bar and we might have some live music and everybody gets down and just do some dancing and fellowshipping with each other. And I had him come do the raffles. And one of the things that was really cool for me was learning that he's been a part of our family from the very beginning. And that closeness, that relationship that we built with not only his mom, but also him, helps me realize that it's really more than just sales. Like Eric said, we're 1099s, and technically we're not supposed to be interacting. We're just supposed to be doing our thing and we don't have any accountability, but we're also the ones, we have to motivate ourselves. I think that your environment is so important. The tribe is so important. There is nothing better than the right energy. It gives you permission to be successful. So, so that's some of the things that we're doing. I mean, I don't care where you are. If you're 45 miles away, I will drive to you if I can, or we'll get on a Zoom session really quickly. You can call and vent. I have a couch in my office. You can come in there and lay down and we'll have a therapy session. It gets harder and harder to do as our company gets bigger, but we have amazing lead associates that have been with us for a long time that also help with this as well. So I don't have to be the one, my husband and I don't have to be the one to carry that burden, but it does make our company a huge family. And I think that really promotes that good mindset.
Love that word tribe. That's a great way to describe it. More, I know you've been, like you said, putting the pedal down when other people are letting off the gas. And I know you are really successful at teaching your team members about working their sphere of influence, and they're expanding their sphere of influence and the database and, all of that. Do you want to talk about how you're building those relationships and helping agents do that?
Yeah, of course. I want to go back to what Eric said about gamifying. I gamify everything. I love competitions. I think they're really motivating. I have a competition going every month for my agents. Our latest competition is the next agent that brings a listing gets a spa day. We had that they get credits for airlines, $500 for Southwest, or whatever it is. It's a small token, and that's back to the team lead investing money in this market. And that also means me investing in all these gifts, and they have to be a great gift. Please don't do a game for your agents where you give out a $10 Starbucks gift card, because that's insulting, first of all, to an agent, and also it doesn't motivate them at all. It needs to be something, a couple of $100, and you can do a competition for everything. You can literally bring up the agents that are not producing as much, and instead of just always giving it to the top producers, the ones that transition the most expired listings into listings, the ones that attended the most open houses this weekend, the broker that attended the most broker opens to support other brokers. You can do a competition to push everyone up and get everyone motivated. And mark my word, you're going to see the ones that are kind of like in second, third place. Let's say it's a competition of like converting the most expired listings. See how that second place agent that was only a couple of listings away from first, they're going to push harder for that $200 spa day, even though we all know that the commission is very high for every agent on every deal. But that $200 spa day is just, they just want to win. So give opportunities for your agents to win by motivating them monetarily and by gifts.
We're super.
Into that, I'm sorry, Eric.
So I was just saying, we're super competitive by nature. We're in sales. So I love that.
More, you just reminded me of the competition we had beginning of this year. It's called 4 More in 24. And it's to what you just said, which was, we have the top producers and they're doing great, but we really want to pull up the agents that were, kind of, every time we have our monthly top producer, they're not on the list, but also encourage them to understand that, hey, you can do this as well. And basically the gift is like a $1,500 cruise to a Caribbean cruise. And so we're announcing the winner actually next week. But the crazy thing, what really happened is that the top 3 finalists were brand new agents or agents who hadn't done any deals, right? And what was also crazy is like they're also brand new agents. Like they literally blew it out the water. One of them actually just completely capped the share in her 6th month because she's super competitive. So you were just reminding me of that. Little things like that make such a huge difference, and you have to continue to do that.
Love that.
One thing. Oh, go ahead, Todd.
Go ahead, Eric.
No, I'm just in hearing Moore and Jamila talk about how they're managing their teams. I think a lot of what you're doing, one of the underlying reasons is retention, right? You want to motivate so they stay in the business. You want to motivate so they sell more. It's way easier to keep an agent than hire a new one. So I just, in my being out of brokerage now and in my spot, I love to hear that you're really focusing on the agent. And I don't see that everywhere I go when I talk to brokerages. So I think it's so important to kind of refocus on Todd. I just wanted to hit that little bullet point.
No, I agree with you completely. And another thing that I'm hearing all of you talk about is, in a way, we're building confidence in our agents as well, and helping our team leaders and helping them just be more confident in what they're doing. And I know in the last year, there have been some changes in the industry, and there's been, just a lot of questions around conversations with buyers, conversations with sellers. So, even creating the right tools and the right, education that helps them have the right conversations with buyers and sellers right now, and then it builds their confidence and helps them go out and actually do more and achieve more. So who else has something that they want to share? I know we had some really good ideas, about open houses and about some other things that we were all doing. Eric, I think you were the one that was talking about, wasn't there an idea about open houses and having some coloring, marketing pieces that, coming out of Breakthrough Broker?
We had a great brainstorm when we were talking about this webinar, and I love what everyone's doing. And I really want to have everyone challenge their agents. Are we stepping outside the box? Are we just signing up for a 2-hour open house and putting a feature sheet on the counter and complaining about how few people showed up? Or are we really knocking it out of the park? And so, I think we need to bring to our teams and our agents as leaders these ideas. It makes us more valuable, right? So one of the ideas we had is we have a postcard that says, come see what your neighbors are selling their home for an hour before the general public. So it's a VIP open house postcard. The question is, what are you doing? What are your agents doing to drive listing leads through their open house, right? And then a door hanger that the kids can run around and Friday night and say, don't forget tomorrow, VIP neighborhood open house, come see what your neighbors are selling their home for. And then having collateral at the open house that makes you more valuable than any other agent they've seen, right? And so one of them we were talking about is, how are you building rapport with anyone that walks into your open house with children? Well, what about a branded coloring sheet or a branded maze or a word search, something where you can, welcome them in and say, hey, do you mind if she sits here and colors for a few minutes while you look at the house? And they love you instantly. So little things like that, I think, are really important to step outside the box. I think we need to be better than we have been, because, in the unicorn years, you could just show up, find a few buyers at your open house, and everyone was killing it a few years ago. And now we have to think a little differently in our marketing. And that was one thing we talked about, more like that. Have you used a coloring sheet yet?
We're actually creating a coloring sheet for Team Denver Homes because of that session, and I love it. I want to, chime in and say something that's really worked well. I don't know if all of you are aware of Sotheby's. It is considered a high-end price brokerage, but what we've been doing that's been working really well is that we use high-end materials to try and get lower priced homes. So we're going to spend money like it's a $1 million, $2 million listing. We're going to get all the hardcover books. We're going to put swag in there, mugs, t-shirts. We're going to treat it like the highest priced home that we have, and we're going to try and convert expired listings that way. And we send these things complimentary to expired listings that are in the lower price points. And we say this, with these materials, look how far we can go with your listing, what you haven't had before. And if the listing had an agent on it that didn't spend money on marketing for it because it was lower priced home, at that point, the seller is willing to try something new. He's willing to pay a higher commission because he hasn't sold his property before. And those higher priced materials are so worth the money, because even if you spend $100, I mean, the listing of a $400,000 property is about $12,000 gross commission income. So, I mean, people are trying to save money on a 400K property. No, like double down on those as well. Spend more money on the lower priced homes, because you're going to have a great conversion, because they're not used to that sort of quality.
No, I completely agree with you. Sometimes I wish I was still listing homes as much as I used to. But no, I love the shock. I called it the shock and awe box. And when I was doing a ton of listings, I did mostly pretty much only expireds, because the low hanging fruit. And we would send these boxes. And I think that they're so relevant today, because like you just said, a lot of people are not doubling down. They're not leaning into their marketing, this is the right time to do it. And we have so many tools. We have tools and technology, and we have Breakthrough Broker. We have all these things that make it easy for us to really, really stand out, to be omnipresent and hyper local at the same time. I always tell my agents, I want your clients and anyone who knows you to feel like they see you everywhere. And it's something as simple as, if you do Facebook, I'm huge on online marketing. If you put in an ad on Facebook at the beginning of January, and it's just a brand awareness ad, and then you just set it and forget it, check it every month, put it on $1,000 budget for the entire year, and you just have it focused on your custom audience, which is your sphere of influence, and your neighborhood, the neighborhoods that you're working. It's so cheap, and they will see you everywhere. They will see you in their feeds. They'll be retargeted to. And if you do this, if you do what you just said more with the shock and awe boxes, it's no longer cold marketing, because I know her name. I've seen her. For some reason, I feel like she's stalking me, but it only costs you, what, $5 a day for you to be everywhere at the same time. And it's an amazing thing that works. And so what we're doing, because I love technology so much. My background is information systems and marketing. I did a lot of it growing up before I got into real estate. We really take this to, I'm a little bit of a geek too, but I take at the technology side and the grassroots side, and I really try to help our agents understand how you can pair the two. So if you're taking a shock and awe box or CMA box or something like that, regardless of the price range, and you're still being omnipresent and hyperlocal online, you marry the two, and it's a great way for you never to have cold marketing. And it works. It really does. For those that are taking that into heart, I'm amazed to see where their career is going right now.
Well, one thing that I love about the shock and awe box, and also about the postcards, that you mentioned earlier, or the other marketing that you're talking about, is the print aspect of it, the physical aspect of holding something printed, that takes it out of the virtual world, which the virtual marketing is needed, and it's amazing as well. But there's something about those printed pieces when you're going in to meet with a buyer and a seller. Having a buyer presentation, something in your hand that you're walking them through and showing them. So one of the things that we did was we put an emphasis on print materials last year, and to get more print marketing in the agent's hands and tools to help them when they're in front of customers. So there were print pieces for buyer conversations, print pieces for seller conversations. print pieces for postcards, for magazines, to build that awareness, build that sphere. And I know, Eric, you do an awful lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anyone's on this call and they're like, where do we get that? Just scan the QR code.
Yeah. Love that. But doesn't it work more? I mean, like you're talking about, you know, the investing in that printing. Sometimes agents shy away from the expense of printing, but it's a very valuable marketing expense. It gets results. Would you agree?
Also, yeah, I want to say another cool trick is instead of just paying for that print ad, reach out to the magazine and say, can I pay for being a contributor article of some sort? Because first of all, when someone reads something that you wrote that's valuable to them, it's not just an advertisement for them. For example, I'm part of my local, I live in Greenwood Village in Colorado. We have a Greenwood Village magazine. I contribute every quarter an article to it. It costs me $400 a month to be part of this magazine. But I said, no, I don't want an ad. I just want to be, I want to contribute to it. So now I submitted, my latest article was how to increase the value of your home during the winter. When you have valuable information with that print as well, and not just an advertisement, you're going to get a better conversion because you become the expert in the field, and not just because you tell them that you're the expert. They receive that information by reading your content. Another thing that we've done is that we published a book that's currently on Amazon. I know that sounds so daunting, but actually, guys, it's much easier than you think it is. But that's, again, for credibility, for having something out there that says, I am the expert on this field. Here is a book on real estate investing in Colorado that we sent to all of our clients as a gift for the holidays. And that also had great conversion. So thinking outside the box with your marketing and your print marketing is going to do wonders for your business.
Love that.
Right.
Out of the box also is awesome. Press releases, I think people underestimate the power of PR. And it reaches so many different circuits where you're being reached out to. I can't count the number of times I just get a call from Fox 26 or ABC News and say, hey, will you comment on this? And it's live, or will you write an article on this? And it, like, you know, like Moore said, it does establish you as a subject matter expert, but you're not having to tell your own tale because everyone else is doing it for you. And I think that is extremely valuable. We don't have to spend $2,000 a month on marketing. You just have to be very creative in reaching people. And I think these are some really great ideas.
Right. And be a resource for those news organizations. Every morning they have a meeting to kick off the day about what's going to be our content for the day. And someone will throw out an idea for a story. And it could be about, okay, what about interest rates? What about inventory? What about, you know, seasonality with real estate? And they want to do a story on it, and they need to reach out to someone. So creating those relationships with public relations, PR, those news professionals, those are great ideas to help our teams and agents do those.
I would also like to mention for everyone to sign up to HARO. That's called Help a Reporter Out. And they published requests for PR from agents in actually it's every subject. You can sign up to be the real estate expert. And then you'll get last minute requests from a writer in some market asking you those questions, and you build your credibility online too. And you can just submit a paragraph or two for those questions, and it's free.
It's great. I wrote that one down.
It's good when you're a panelist. You have all these notes. It's pretty great.
That's right. Eric, talk for a minute about automation. You know, agents are busy. And I know that you know, one of the things is helping our teams and our agents be more efficient with the time that they do have and get more done in a smaller amount of time. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, again, I think execution is key. So the more marketing you do is directly related to more transactions. I mean, Moore said it, Jamila said it, but I think we at the agent level, we really want it done for us, right? I don't think I think it's less, I don't want to spend the money, and I don't want to take the time to do it in a lot of occasions. So I think if you can find automation for your agents, automated listing marketing, like have the listing package done, the postcard, the social post, the carousel post, the story post, the open house content, spoon fed, like give it to me. If I just have to click it and send it, I'll do it. So I think automation, everyone's talking AI right now, and it's not that I'm not a fan, but I'm more a fan of automation. I want it done for me. I want it sent out for me. I want to just bring it to my open house. I'll execute better and more better, bad English, but anyway, I'll execute if it's given to me. And I think as a broker owner or team leader, sometimes we think that's not our job, but it is your value if you can provide that and you can spoon feed your agents some automation and marketing that they can easily execute on. I think your bottom line as a team leader and broker owner will increase, because if you can help your agents sell more, they'll stay with you forever, right? So I think automation is a big deal. I think right now it's as important as AI or more important.
I agree. And Eric, Breakthrough Broker does have great automation. I've checked it out.
Yeah.
It's as simple as you actually just said, and I love that. Another thing that we're doing, it's one of the challenges we have with our agents that come in, especially agents who I know I should have a CRM. I should build a relationship with my CRM. So I got tired of it. So we hired a full-time person, and when you come and get onboarded, the two things that we will do for you is we'll set your website up, customize it at least with the basics, your pictures, your basic content, do the domain forwarding, the whole night, and we will take your entire Excel spreadsheet and load it into the CRM for you and set it up with the seasonal emails, like the set it and forget it type emails.
Set and
So
forget.
you don't have an excuse. It is
I love
just for you.
I think the day and age of just expecting our agents to do it's a little stubborn. We're just
Oh
do
my
it.
gosh.
So I love that you're like CRM. That's the biggest problem, right? Everyone needs a CRM. Everyone knows they need a CRM. It's
Yeah.
putting their people in and segmenting it and setting up. That's the barrier to execution. So I think you're eliminating the excuse. They can't come to you, Jamila, and say, I don't know what's going on. I can't, I'm not selling enough right now, because you can
Right,
go
exactly.
say, are you doing this, this, and this? Because we already set it up for you.
Right. And that's just, I think, honestly, that was a big game changer for us. It's something super simple, and it required somebody who understood
That's cool.
technology a little bit, but it has been a game changer for us, because I just got tired of having that conversation. You cannot have a business without people to communicate with and build a relationship with.
That is
And
the
you
business.
cannot do that with a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And you know what they say, the best CRM is the one that you use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just want them to use it. And for me, I understand and the importance of the actual CRM program, but I just want the agents to be in front of their database. Even if that means open your notebook and your Rolodex and it has names in there, or you open Facebook and you pull out your friends list, or you open a spreadsheet, or you open anything, a Post-it. I just want them to be in front of their database, because when they open their database and they look at it, more deals close. They remember people that they forgot. They communicate more often. So I don't care what CRM the agents use. And I know that there are amazing products out there. I just want them to use it. And for me, it's like whatever it's going to work for you to look at your database, let's do that. So not all the agents are on the same platform for me. If one agent works better on print and wants to have it in the notepad, that's great, as long as they look at it and they update it.
And I would even simplify that by, this is the question, this is always the main question I ask every day. Did you have a conversation, interaction with 5 people today? And you'd be amazed how many don't. But if you quantify, that's about 100 people a month. And it could be a text, a DM. We have 1,000 ways to communicate with people. And no, I completely agree. No but, which is honestly still my go-to. Notebook, I mean, post-it note, put it on the dashboard on while you're brushing your teeth. I'm gonna have 5 conversations today. It amounts to about like it's 100 people a month, and then that compounds. If you
Yep.
talk to 100 people a month, if you interact with 100 people a month, DM, text, video, whatever, you're gonna close deals.
Right.
And that is the not so secret sauce of our business,
It is.
right? So, but it's still really hard to do. So we have to continuously reinforce that.
And I love what you were doing was you were breaking that down too, because you were talking 5 people a day. Well, there's 5 days in a week, so that's 25 people in a week times 4 weeks in a month. That's 100 people in a month times 12 months. That's 1,200 people in a year. And now you paint that bigger picture of 5 people a day gets you to this bigger goal, and then activity happens, and we help more buyers and help more sellers. So that even ties into more what you were talking about earlier about gamifying it, or putting challenges together. And that's where we had put a whole series of challenges together. We did 5 different challenges all around open houses. So it was the open house 30 in 30 days, or it was the expand your database challenge of adding 2 people a day for a year or for 90 days. Put something in. We had a whole series of them, but putting challenges together is a great way too, of shorter 12-week challenges, 4-week challenges, to get the agents to do that. I wrote down the 5. Have you had the 5 today? That's a great way to have those conversations every day with your teams. Eric, I interrupted you earlier. You're going to say something.
I was going to piggyback on something you said, actually. You said a couple minutes ago, 15 minutes ago maybe, you mentioned the word marketing action plan. This is for broker owners and team leaders, and the title of this webinar was what you can do today for your brokerage or team. And I think we focus on business plans so much. Get your business plan done, get your plan done, which are the numbers. But I think what's more important is the marketing plan. That's how you get there.
Yeah.
And I think I would challenge everyone on this call today or watching the video later, have your agents do a marketing action plan, not just a business plan. It's great if I know I need to sell 22 homes next year, but what's more important, how am I going to get there? How many listing presentations do I need? How many buyers do I need? What marketing actions am I going to take? 5 calls a day, 3 open houses a month. All of those things I think are really important. So I just wanted to go back to what you said when you said marketing action plan. I think if we're going to pick a few things out, I mean, the ladies had some amazing ideas, but I want to add to that. Have your agents do a marketing plan, not just a business plan.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because we were very intentional in using the word marketing action plan instead of business plan, because the business plan is the bigger. The marketing action plan is one of those. Could be, I'm going to sign up for Breakthrough Broker today, and I'm gonna put that in place. And then the next thing is, I'm going to talk to 5 people a day. I'm going to send out those shock and awe boxes to X amount of people. And then if they go through their action plan, the column to the right of the action item, for us, we have a column and it says, how many home buyers and sellers will you help next year doing this item? So one of those action items might be, I'm going to pick up my phone and call 5 people a day. Well, if I do that per year, can I sell 4 homes? Can I help 5, do 5 transactions? What's the average income times those 5? So that means if you do this one action item, it's going to total this much total compensation to you in the year. And then you total it all up. It says, I'm going to sell 22 homes next year doing these action items. So it's very intentional. And I'm glad you said it's marketing action plan, not just a business plan. So it's great. We had a ton of ideas today on the call we could put on a marketing action plan from everything we've talked about, right?
Absolutely.
I want to chime in to not forget to tell your agents not to forget their past clients. One of our marketing action in our plan is to every month check the property anniversary of anybody that you closed on in previous years for that month, and shock and awe box, send them something, reach out to them, make your past clients a big sector of your business, because agents just churn and burn to the next client, and we forget all our past clients. And our sphere business of our previous closings is the #1 way for us to get business again. So I really encourage the agents to put marketing dollars into their past clients, especially those that have closed over 3 years ago.
Yeah, because they'll be ready again. I just want to also add, Eric mentioned automation. I'm huge in automation. And so to tie what Moore and Eric said about automation, the more you can automate, the better. There are companies that you can actually load your entire database in, your past clients, and you can automate quarterly gift givings, anniversary gifts, cards, birthday cards. You can set these things and forget it, right, Eric? And so, yeah. And so it's so important.
But I'll pay you later, Jamila. Thank you.
Well, you know what? Listen, anytime. But it's true. I'm a huge Breakthrough Broker fan. When I was an independent agent, I used everything about it. So I love it. And so and Eric did not pay me to say this, but I just
made my day when we first met.
No,
everything.
that's the voice of experience coming through, Jamila. You've seen it. You have that experience and you know it works. So it's great advice. So we're coming up here toward the end of the hour real quick. If each one of you could give 2 minutes real quick on takeaways to the audience, just a recap of what are some action items to be proactive with right now today in summary to help agents and teams. And let's start with Moore. Let's go with you first.
#1 actionable item is, building back on what Eric said, your agents are your clients. You need to be, as a team leader or broker, investing in your agents in any way possible. And it does not mean cutting your split. I know that's the first thing that every broker or team lead thinks they have to do to retain or recruit agents, is with giving like the most split to the agent. No, investing your time, effort, and personal advice, one-on-one, anything that you can do to put yourself in front of your agents and give them you as much as you can is going to increase their business and will increase your end dollar sign too.
We could have flipped there more because you just took the words out of my mouth. No, that I couldn't have said it any better. You're 100%. So all I'm just going to do is add to that for agents out there and brokers. This is the time to lean in. I feel like we're going back to the basics when it comes to building our brokerages and building our teams. That also means really simplifying everything. It doesn't have to be complicated. What you're trying to achieve outside of recruiting is also retention. And just like you build relationships with your clients, you need to build relationships with your agents. And that you don't have to spend a ton of money to do that. Sometimes it's just togetherness. So go back to the basics, keep it simple, find 4 things that you can do differently next year that you're not doing today. For example, like I mentioned, create intimacy, create a tribe. And I think that's going to make a world of difference. And again, I know that doesn't happen for larger brokerages because it's just, the total numbers. But I think that you can make the biggest brokerage feel small if you create intimacy.
Well said.
Awesome. I think if I was to pick one thing that we talked about I wrote a ton of stuff down. So thank you guys. It was awesome. It was learning for me. I would say my biggest takeaway would probably be what Moore started with by saying she's doubling down right now. I think what I'm seeing throughout the industry is a lot of people sitting on the sidelines. And I think as a broker owner or a leader, we have to articulate to our agents right now that what we are doing in November, and we're late, December, what we're doing today through the holidays is so important. We'll see the fruits of that labor in February and March. If we wait, if we stay on the sideline, first it was the election, then it's the holidays, you're going to have agents that have nothing until June. So I think a very strong message right now is 5 calls a day, unsolicited CMA a day, all these things that are going to help us move forward, it has to be done right now. So I think my biggest takeaway is help your agents execute now.
Help your agents execute now. That's well said. I think for me, the big takeaway, and it's been an honor to be on this panel with all of you today. And one thing I've enjoyed is hearing all of you talk about how you haven't said the words, but you are serving your agents. You are finding ways to lead them and serve them. And at the end of the day, that's what teams and what agents need. They need us to serve them and support them and to lead them. And then in doing that, that's how we will help them execute. So I just really appreciate that servant heart coming through in all of your ideas. And for those listening, that's where we start, is investing more, serving, supporting, answering the phone instantly when they call, and giving them answers, giving them direction, but giving them tools, all the resources, all the things. It all comes down to service and support. So really appreciate all of you being here on the panel with us today. We want to thank RISMedia, Real Estate Magazine, for having us all on the call. For those of you that are watching this, not just listening, remember there is a QR code up on the screen underneath the headline that says, "What are your agents doing to automate their marketing?" That will take you, if you scan that, directly to breakthroughbroker.com, or you can just put the URL in breakthroughbroker.com in as well. Thank you, Eric, for sponsoring this webinar. And we wish all of you much success in 2025. Say closing thoughts real quick to everybody. Go ahead, more. Jamila, say bye to everyone.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great holiday season. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Thanks, RISMedia.
Yep. Thank you all. We'll see you back on future webinars.